Okay. First of all, let's start with the doom and gloom. Obviously, kind of really tragic story of children being attacked in the nursery. I know you didn't really watch much of it, did you?
No, I've not seen anything. I saw a glimpse, but don't really know the ins and outs at all.
Okay, so for my understanding is, oh, hello, what's that noise? Have you still got your things plugged in, by the way?
No.
Okay. Oh yes. So, I could hear myself there temporarily, but never mind. Yeah. So, a 17-year-old kid went into I think it was like a summer club that they were doing, and started stabbing children. He's killed 3 of them, and there's 10 more, I believe, in a really bad way.
Why?
There's no motive as of yet. He's a 17-year-old kid born in Cardiff. What makes someone do something like that? What I find really distasteful at the minute, a lot of it's been politicalized, and it's been used to push an agenda. People straight away jumping on the Muslim bandwagon, saying that he's a Muslim and stuff like that. There's been riots. The police have been attacked the last 2 days in London. Even what's really distasteful, even in Southport, and it seemed like listening to the locals in the area, it seemed like they have a very sort of tight-knit community with the Muslim community there. Like everyone sort of there didn't seem to be any sort of like real dissent towards them, but hundreds of people turned up to their lovely area and started throwing bricks at the police, setting things on fire. I mean, how distasteful is that? How distasteful. Let the parents mourn their children. That have passed. Let the community recover. Try and do something, but not have to deal with hundreds of people turning up out of nowhere, not from the area, and then start attacking the police, throwing bricks. What does that achieve by throwing bricks at the police?
It takes the mind off stories or other stories. I don't know, but. I just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Why don't people support the families, do something good, rioting? What's that going to achieve? What is it going to achieve?
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously an agenda towards that. There's obviously an agenda at the minute from the sort of far right, they're obviously suggesting that, immigration, too many people coming over, too many people unchecked, and they're causing havoc in the country, and that sort of, that's the kind of rhetoric that's going around at the minute. But I mean, you speak to anyone, most people will say, yes, we should be vetting people that come in this country, and we should be putting British people first, looking after what we've got, But it's to blame them, to blame everything, it's such a sad thing to be blamed for what a couple of people do from your community, that must be really hard.
To blame a whole race of people. Just because of one incident, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, one incident, 2 incidents, 3 incidents. You're talking about, most of the time, you're talking about a population of 1 billion people at least, and maybe.
There's good and bad in everyone. Colour has nothing to do with it. Do you know what I mean? If you want to use that as an excuse to cause trouble, then I guess.
Well, it's not really colour at the minute. They're putting it on. They're putting it literally on the whole race of Muslims. To be honest with you, it's actually a religion thing at the minute that's being targeted at the minute. To be fair, but I don't know. It's a very sad situation, and I'm just watching all these sort of media networks just really pushing a narrative. Two-tier policing and all this bajow.
At the moment, though. Time needs to be about the children that have gone, the children that are hurt, families that are suffering. I mean, all the friends and families of all the children. That's the whole. Do you know what I mean? Area that's going to be traumatized for many years to come. Do you know what I mean? The focus needs to be on them people right now, not. Do you know what I mean? A race of people. It's just. Oh, I can't even imagine. Can you imagine? The summer school and
no, that I mean absolutely not. It just makes you think what can we do to sort of help sort of stop these things from happening. It's either he's you know, he's a fanatic, you know, he's committed an act of terrorism, or he's a crazy person, you know, that just picked the knife up and, you know, decided to do. Either way, we need to start looking at what's going on the internet. There seems to be a lot of, like, you know,
and mental health issues. Do you know what I mean? He could have serious mental health issues, and we know that some people with that aren't in their own minds. Do you know what I mean? We need to be looking at those sorts of things. Prevention there. You can't prevent until you start at the root cause.
Yeah, I mean, even if it is like, you know, it's something, even if it is like a terror, if he's committed it as an act of terror, he's still got, like, to do that, to physically do that with a knife to children. You ain't right in the head. You're not right in the head. Like, you know, I'm not sure, like, you know, that you can do something like that if you're right. Like, you got to be a sociopath, like, you know, literally a sociopath, you know, to do something like that. So well, you are, yeah, but I don't know what to say. I mean, it's horrible.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and my heart goes out to every single one of those people involved, and the people, the ambulance drivers, the paramedics.
They're the ones that are being attacked. They're literally
But they're having to deal with a situation that most people can't deal with, and then they're being attacked. Do you know what I mean?
This is what everyone was saying. The same police officers, the same ambulance services, the same fire departments that were having to deal with a horrible situation like that are, like, within hours being attacked with bricks. Like, you know, that doesn't make sense. Like, you know, it just doesn't make sense, and it's so dangerous. Some of these media outlets, they're just pushing like a tone that you know, that just brings in a certain element of people, like, you know, people that are just, yeah, they do, and what's sad is that people don't realize they're being manipulated. Like, why you're like, they, like, you know, for instance, you'll see there are people out there, I'm not going to mention names, there are people out there calling for action, you know, straight away as soon as they heard it. The sad thing as well, people were making up lies saying it was an asylum seeker that's been there for 2 months that came on a boat. Like, how sick do you have to be to sort of, like, you know, that means that media outlet is literally making money off the death of them 3 children. Like, you know, off the death of children, they don't care. They're just going to spin a narrative, and they know there's a anti-Muslim sort of, like, community a massive sort of, like, organization growing towards now, like, towards anti-Muslim, anything anti-Muslim, and they want to pin it straight away on them. And it's just like, the people in the area, they were like, no, we've grown up for 30 years with this Muslim community, and we've never had any issues, you know. This is one isolated incident where a crazy person has picked the knife up and done this, you know. Like, you know, he has to be a crazy person to do that. Like, you know, you can't be right in the head. No. Like, you know, you can't be right. I think it's very different, like, you know, something that's quick, like, you know, like strapping a bomb to yourself and blowing yourself up. But to physically run around attacking little children, you ain't right in the head.
Repeatedly, over and over again. Do you know what I mean?
It makes you think, though, like, life isn't fair. Like, you know, like, life isn't fair. Like, you know, these kids, like, you know, they're going to be traumatized for the rest of their lives. The ones that pull through, and then the ones that haven't. You know, like, what do you say? Like, how does a parent even comprehend that? You know, like that.
Changed forever. Life's different forever. They're gonna. They're gonna have heartache forever. Time heals. We always hear that, don't we? But it only makes it feel a slightly little bit better than literally birthdays, Christmas, this, that. Do you know what I mean? It's just heartbreaking. Children shouldn't be taken like that, though. It's just so sad.
It is. It just really gets on my nerves when people try to politicize it and use it to push their agenda, use it to make money for certain individuals, you know, just like that, just pushing it, and just and people just getting manipulated. But what gets me is when we had that airport situation where the police they you remember we saw the video where they stabbed on that guy's head. Like, you know, before we even knew the full facts, there were people from the same far right agenda sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, the police done a great job. He deserved it. He's starting trouble on the police." And now you have people attacking the police with bricks, and they haven't even responded with like the same amount of violence that they gave to that guy in the airport. You know, like the police, from my side of it, you know, the police should, like, if people are rioting and stuff like that, they should give them half an hour. Say, look, you've got half an hour to disperse, or the rubber bullets are coming out for you lot. Like, literally, like, I think that's how it should be. Like, we shouldn't be playing games with people, like, you know, because if people know you're going to get dealt with harshly like that, like in certain countries like Russia and stuff like that, do you think they even bother to try stuff like this? Like, you know, you know, people are, you know, just like, you know, we need to, like, it just annoyed me that the same outrage wasn't there for the police. Like, no one's, there are people there, but from that bias, we already know who they are and what kind of people they are. But, you know, they'll try and spin the narrative. No, we're not this. No, we're not that.
Always spin it. Always spin it. Doesn't matter what situation, it can be spun into a good or bad situation. You're never going to win.
Yes, indeed. But let's follow this space anyway. But let's move on to some more sort of let's say, I don't know what you'll say. You're doing a skydive, I believe.
So yes. So my dad has dementia. He's 77. Okay. He was probably diagnosed about 3 years ago. They said we would have 5 good years. We probably had 1 goodish year, and then Dad just went down. At the moment, we've probably got, I don't know, 10% of Dad. His understanding of everything has gone. He doesn't know. If you said, Dad, walk over here, he doesn't understand what that means. If you give him a fork, he doesn't really understand what he needs to do with it, to put it in food and put it in his mouth. He's still got his sense of humour. He's still a little bit funny. We still have a laugh and a giggle, very simply. But it hurts. It makes me feel so sad. And Dad's suffering.
Yeah.
I wanted to put myself through something in a weird way. Yeah. And Alzheimer's are doing a skydive this year. Okay. So I've decided to do a skydive, and that's happening on Saturday. I feel really calm at the moment.
Wow.
I'm absolutely going to poop myself.
Yeah. What sort? How high are you going to be jumping from?
I think it's 10,000.
Oh wow, 10,000 feet. Wow. Yeah. You are going to have someone strapped. You're going to be strapped to someone, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay. Poor man.
Yes.
I'm literally going to be screaming, but yeah. I'm really excited. I don't know why. I just wanted to do something. Last year, I walked 200 miles in October for Alzheimer's. You were meant to do 50 miles, but I'd already done 150 miles the month before, so I did it to 200. That was difficult. But this, it's like you get there, you do it, it's done. So, so yeah.
Yeah, and dementia is obviously something that affects, like, you know, affects everyone, you know, so everyone.
Yeah, so dementia, I mean, it will affect everyone. We're all, at some point, we're all going to know somebody, a gran, your friend's gran, your mum, your sister, whoever is affected by it. And did you know that 40% of dementia is lifestyle choices, which means 40% of dementia can be preventable through education, through better lifestyle choices.
Wow. So what kind of things affect it?
So your socialness. So being out, because a lot of people, as they get older, they isolate more indoors. Hearing. If you wear hearing aids and don't wear your hearing, you're switching yourself off to the world, which means your brain is now sort of slowing down a little bit because it can't hear everything. And like my dad, that was what he did. He never used to wear his hearing aids. Do you know what I mean? Retiring and being a little bit more sedentary, retiring and not being educational. Do you know what I mean? Things like that, these all can, and all the normal stuff, eating a poor diet, not exercising, all of that sort of stuff. Because of it, I've been very active over the last couple of years, looking into it for myself, and I've spoken to neurology at the hospital and stuff, and the one thing he said to me was, the most important thing you need to do is stay educational. Do not stop. Be intellectual. Don't stop learning. The minute you stop learning is the minute it's going to come in.
Yeah.
And also, if it's going to come into you, if you're going to get it, they do it in a way where they say, have a cup. And if your cup is full, when dementia hits, little holes are going to come out. It's going to take a long time for it to really show. Yeah. If your cup is quite empty when dementia hits, it's going to start showing a lot quicker. And by doing good things as well and stuff, it could sort of stabilise at different points rather than just keep going down and down and down. Plus, there's loads of other supplements and stuff that people can take to help. There's no cure, but by making better choices on supplements, on other things, it can make a big difference. And so for me, that's what I'm trying to do now. I want to, you know what I mean, with my lifestyle, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it. There's no point worrying about it. But I need to make sure if I do get it, I'm up here, you know, and I fight for it. I said to my sister, what are you doing? And she went, nothing. I went, what do you mean? Nan had it, Dad had it. What do you mean you're not She said, I've never thought about it. I don't think, it's not even something that I think about. And I just think, why not? Do you know what I mean? We're at high risk. We're third generation. Wow. My son will be a fourth. My granddaughter will be a fifth.
So is it hereditary then, is it?
It can be hereditary, yeah. My nan had it.
Wow.
My nan had it. Now, my nan had, you know, hers could have been lifestyle. My dad's could have been lifestyle. Or it could be completely genetic, and it doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to get it. We don't know. But we've got to try. We've got to try. I don't want to be in my dad's situation in a few years and my granddaughter or my son having to see me like that. If they are, then that's what it's to be. But I don't want it. I need to do everything in my physical, mental power to stop myself from getting it or prevent myself from showing for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's very important, you know, and it's just like one of those things where if you do isolate, if you ever go through a period of time where you do isolate yourself and you're not like going out and doing stuff, it does affect you. Like, you know, like if, for instance, like when I vividly remember every time I had like a 6-week holiday at school, my first day back at school, sometimes I had forgotten how to even hold a pen. Like literally, that's how bad it was. I'd forgotten how to hold a pen, and I'd be like, "What the hell? I can't even hold it." Because it's like, you know, you have to literally keep training your mind, no matter what age you are, really. But obviously, when you get older, it's important to keep, obviously, you know, learning and stuff, and keep trying to push for it.
And I think if you listen to people, everyone's getting up to retire so they can stop. You know what I mean? And that's what we do. We work ourselves up until retirement age, and then we can relax and stop. Well, we need to work up to retirement and then go into retirement and not stop. The minute you stop,
I find, most in my experience, most of the time when I've seen people stop doing whatever they're doing once they've reached a certain age, they normally end up just dying or declining, you know, like so either a sudden death or declining, or like, you know, dementia starts to hit them big time, like, you know. But you are seeing a lot more people, like there's like a 8-year-old bodybuilder now and stuff, like it's becoming so popular now, the health stuff. And if you look at this guy, he does not look 80 years old, you know. So it's so important to like look after yourself, and once you reach, like, I would say even fit, like I would say 40, to be honest with you, because it's a very easy decline, like, you know, once you start losing that muscle mass as well.
And people get dementia in their 50s. They literally get dementia in their 50s, their 60s, which, do you know what I mean? That's my age.
Yeah.
People suffer of it, and do you know what I mean? It will literally choose anyone at any time, and it's an awful disease. I never used to realise what people said, because any disease is awful, right? If someone gets cancer, they're going to die, you're going to watch them die.
Yeah.
With dementia, the body stays. And like I was saying the other day, I sit there and I just look at my dad in silence for a bit. I don't want him to talk. I just want him to just be there, just because then it gives me a little bit of peace that's Dad. Because the minute he opens his mouth and starts to do stuff, I realise that my dad, he's not in there anymore. You know, it's just the physical appearance of him.
Just seeing him there is just like enough sometimes, isn't it? I think you can't, like, I mean, I have worked, I am heavily in the care sector, so I think about 2 or 3 years ago, no, about 5 years ago actually, I did work with some people with dementia and stuff, so I very, very much know how it is, like, you know, so it's very painful on the families as well.
It is very painful, because I mean, we talk about things and it's like, with me and my dad, he was my hero. He was the person in my life that whatever happened, he was there for me, unconditional. He would never give me what I wanted. Do you know what I mean? He would give me the right answer. And, you know, if I asked him questions, I used to want him to tell me things I wanted to hear, but he wouldn't. He would always tell me what I needed to hear. And I trusted him. Do you know what I mean? And, like, that's gone now. I can't go to my dad and say, Dad, can you polish my shoes? Because he used to polish my shoes, you know, and things like that. So that's hard because, you know, Dad's not there in the skydive. I can't share it with him. I don't know if he's going to understand. I don't know if it's going to terrorise him, thinking my daughter's jumping out of a plane. He doesn't really know what daughter means anymore either. You know, he knows that I'm someone to him, but he doesn't understand what that means.
Yeah.
So it's
do you get them good moments when you are with him occasionally, where he does, where you see that he sort of acknowledges who you are?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've over the last couple of years, we've had some hilarious little moments. Do you know what I mean? And they're very precious, and they are once in a blue moon now. But yeah, on his birthday a couple of weeks ago, I think that was the last time me, my sister, her husband, and his wife, we all went out for cake and coffee. And Dad was perfect. He was on good form. We saw a little bit of Dad from the old days back there, his little bit of sense of humour. But we have to keep it simple. You can't have long conversations with him, one line so he can understand. And I just sat there, and I call him my old git. And every time he goes a little bit quiet, I just whisper in his ear, you know, and it just makes him laugh. And so now with me, I just call him silly words, and he just laughs. And bless him.
Wow. So you got a skydive. When is it again? Sorry.
Saturday.
Wow, Saturday. Oh my God, Jesus, Saturday. That's like just a couple of days away. Jeez. Are you nervous, excited, or?
I just want to get it done. To be fair, I'm not thinking about it. Do you know what? It feels like it's not real at the moment. Until I get there, until I get at the airfield, I'm not gonna, not worry. I'm gonna absolutely crap myself.
Yeah. How are you with heights anyway?
As long as I feel safe.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Because I know that they're going to do everything they need to do. So I don't think that's too much of an issue, because I know that we're going to be safe.
Yeah.
Do I like heights? I mean, do I go to the edge of a cliff and look over? Yeah, I'm not scared. Not at the moment.
Well, I hope you've got a GoPro or something, so we can capture some lovely footage of it.
I don't.
Oh no, you need to get we need to know. We'll see what we can do, because that'd be really good. But yeah, that'd be really good.
You'd probably be able to hear me, because I literally am going to scream the whole way down. It's just going to imagine free falling for like 15
Yeah, it is something on my bucket list to do, but I need to get down to get down to like 15 stones, I think, because there's a weight restriction, isn't there?
Yeah, they did. I think it is something like about 15 stones.
It's 15 stones, yeah. So I need to get down to 15 stones. But yes, I wish you all the best for that, Joe. That was our morning debrief. We started with some really sad news, and obviously now you're raising money for Alzheimer's, and people with dementia, if it's going to affect people. So I think it's a very important thing to do.
If anyone wants to sponsor me, then I would be very much appreciated. My dad would be very much appreciated. Alzheimer's Society would be very much appreciated. So yes, please.
Okie dokie. I will make sure I share this as many times as I can for you. Joe, lovely checking in with you this morning. Everyone, have a lovely morning. Peace.